the 6th of December is the Finnish Independence Day. And to celebrate that, I wanted to share a really traditional Finnish recipe with you guys. And that is called Karjalanpiirakat, or Karelian pastries in English. I will translate the recipe in the comments, so anyone who wants to follow can also try this. And I will start with a quick note to anybody who is Finnish speaking. Hyvää itsenäisyyspäivää kaikille ja pikkasen näistä karjalanpiirakoista. Niin mä tarkistan tämän videon jälkeen, että mistä mä oon löytänyt tämän ohjeen. Tää on siis ihan jostain netistä otettu ja mä oon pikkasen vaan kirjoittanut näitä ohjeita uudestaan, mutta mä laitan linkin, niin pääsette kans tähän Karjalanpiirakka-ohjeeseen, mikä mulla on tässä. Mut joo, hyvää ja rauhallista itsenäisyyspäivää kaikille. The rest of the video will be a voiceover because I need some concentration while cooking. So basically Karjalanpiirakka is a pie or pastry that has rye dough and it is filled with rice porridge. And the first step in making karjalanpiirakka is to make the porridge. Don't be like me. I was making the porridge at the same time as I was also making the dough, and I was really busy. My tip would be to already make the porridge the day before and have it in the fridge so that it takes a little bit less time to cook. So the porridge has milk in it and it is seasoned with some salt and butter. And this is how you make the dough. First, you mix the water, salt, and the two types of flour. So the Karelian pastries have rye flour and wheat flour. The amount of each flour is not so critical, you can vary it a little bit. But in my recipe it has 3 deciliters of rye flour and 2 deciliters of wheat flour. And when the dough is ready, it should not stick to the cup or the pot or wherever you are making it, or it shouldn't also stick to your hands. When the dough is ready, that is really easy, then you make little balls out of the dough. If you are making with these measurements, 2 deciliters of water, 3 of rye flour and 2 of wheat flour, you will get around 20 pies. And so you form little balls and you squeeze the balls into a kind of a pancake, thick pancakes shape, and pile those little pancakes on top of each other. Remember to put flour, preferably rye flour, between them. This prevents them from sticking together. Right. And once you have a big pile of the thick pancakes, or whatever we want to call them, now we want to roll the pastries out with a rolling pin. And I have a special kind of a rolling pin that is called piirakkapulikka. It is Finnish, but it is okay to make this with just any rolling pin. And you want to roll them out into very thin pie crusts, and they will be about 10 to 12 centimeters in diameter if you are doing with my measurements, and around 20 pieces. Then you stack the crusts on top of each other again, and again put a lot of flour between them. If you are looking at this video and you think I am going overboard with the flour, let me tell you, it needs to have a lot of it. It is really annoying if you have 20 beautiful pie crusts and they are all sticking into each other. When that step is done, you want to brush the excess flour off the pie crusts. And then a few at a time. My recipe says you do 3 of these at a time, and I have usually been following that. But the idea is to make just a few at a time so that the dough does not have time to dry out. And that is the reason why we are also piling them up, so that the dough does not dry out while you are doing other steps. So next up, we put porridge on top of the pie crusts. and ideally the porridge should have cooled down before this, so don't make the porridge at the same time as I am doing here. I had a bit of lack of time, so you can take a wet knife and spread it out with that. That helps. So wetting the knife helps so that the porridge does not stick so much to the knife. And you want to spread it from one side, like from the top to the bottom, and on the sides leave a little bit of space there. And then you fold the sides of the pie over the porridge, and you kind of ruffle them with your index fingers and your thumbs. That is called rypytys in Finnish, and in my opinion that is the best part of making Karelian pies. I will show you this step a couple of times, because if you have never done this, it can look a little bit confusing or difficult, but once you learn how to do it, it's not really that difficult at all. And then this is how you put them on a tray. So you sprinkle a bit of flour on the baking tray and place the pies side by side on the tray. They need to be baked ideally in a hot temperature. My recipe says 275 degrees Celsius, and that means that you shouldn't use any baking paper. But if your oven has a lower maximum temperature than 275, that is okay. Then you can just bake them a little bit longer. Here are the finished Karjalanpiirakka. Well, just the final step is missing because you melt butter and water, or heat up water with butter until the butter melts, and then you spread this on top of the finished pies. so they get this buttery taste. The way that we Finns eat Karelian pies is like bread, so you can enjoy them alone. You can put things on top of them like margarine, cheese, ham, vegetables like cucumber, tomato, bell pepper, things like that. So, in case that someone actually tried these out, let me know in the comments down below. Or if you have ever heard about Karjalanpiirakka before. See you guys